Hi, I'm Barbara Brimkunis, and this is your Exeter History Minute. In another episode, I promised I'd tell you more about this printing press. If you think it looks kind of old, you're right. This was the first printing press in the town. It was brought here just before the Revolution by a printer named Robert Louis Fowle. He was the nephew of Daniel Fowle, who ran the only other press in the state in Portsmouth. The two men had worked together until they had a political falling out. Robert leaned on the Loyalist side, and Daniel was firmly in the Patriot camp. The press itself is an English common press built around 1740 and exported to the colonies. With it, Fowle published the New Hampshire Gazette or Exeter Morning Chronicle, because I guess newspapers had to have a first and last name back then. Exeter was a smaller town than Portsmouth, so Robert Fowle found it necessary to take what work he could find, even though it might mean printing items that went against his own politics. When the Declaration of Independence arrived in town on July 16, 1776, he published a special edition containing the full text, and he later published broadsides of the document. One can only imagine what was going through his mind as he set the type. As a Loyalist, he would have been quite uncomfortable with the idea of revolution against Great Britain. We have a copy of the printing. Here it is. Well, maybe this isn't a copy. Here's what it really looks like. We don't have a copy. They're pretty rare, and one sold for over $2 million in January of 2025 at auction. The only edition of Fowle's New Hampshire Gazette or Exeter Morning Chronicle in our collections was printed in August of 1776. In it, he prints an act passed by the Committee of Safety to prevent the forging and altering of bills of public credit, the paper money issued by the state. The publication of this act becomes ironic when, in early 1777, Fowle himself was arrested on suspicion of forging paper money. The evidence against him was strong. There were no other printing presses in Exeter, and Fowle had received the commission for printing paper money from the state. Thrown into Exeter's notoriously permeable jail on Chestnut Street, Fowle offered to name the other conspirators if he was given bail. While the court was considering this, Fowle slipped away and escaped behind British lines. Fowle's brother Zachariah took over the press and continued the business until his death in 1782. Robert returned to town sometime after 1790. He married his brother's widow and became a merchant downtown. Although he received a Loyalist's pension from the British Crown, Fowle still felt the need to demand repayment for the pamphlets and paper he said he lost at the time of his arrest. Unsurprisingly, his claim was denied, and eventually he found it best to move with his wife to Brentwood, where she had inherited some land. The press now stands here at the Society, an artifact of the American Revolution. It is an odd accident of fate that it is a British press used to print the Declaration of Independence by a Loyalist. For more history on the Revolution or Exeter in general, check our website at www.exeterhistory.org.